Welcome to the Friday Precision Call. Thank you all so much for tuning in with us this morning. Before we get started, I need to go ahead and read you this risk disclosure. Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and it may not be suitable for all investors. Trading a margin and utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. Before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or use any of our software alerts products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, your level of experience, and your risk tolerance. There's a possibility you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest or trade any capital that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you do have any doubts. Auvoria Prime LLC does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade. If you are using any of your results from sharing any of your results from using GearBox, again, please do not use the term company recommended settings. Auvoria Prime does not have any recommended settings. Auvoria Prime is not a financial advisory firm. Auvoria Prime just licenses software users can use how they want at their own risk and discretion. GearBox does come without the box settings upon initial setup, which you as a customer have the ability to customize however you'd like. Auvoria Prime has nothing to do with a customer's broker account and does not solicit or take investments. No brokers are recommended. Again, Auvoria Prime just licensed software, sells amazing education users can learn and potentially benefit from, and any settings I am sharing are developer settings and not company recommended settings. This call is for educational purposes only. So with that being said, let's get right into it. We're going to go start pulling through our VPSs here and taking a look one by one. So Euro GBP, as always, has still not taken a trade. Last week we talked about this. I believe on Euro GBP there might be a time I lower the entries, but maybe even just one. And this is swing settings, and we're still not getting it there. NZD CHF, we are still in a little drawdown here, waiting on this NZD move to play out, as I think a lot of us are, and some other NZD pairs as well that we'll go over today. Kind of just now ranging and consolidating in this area, and we need to catch the reversal. So, who knows how long that one might play out. NZD JPY did not get a trade. NZD USD, we have no trades or profit on the week. USD CAD, I did not get any entries on the week. GBP AUD, no profit this week. GBP CAD, no trades taken as well. Kind of similar to Euro GBP, maybe get a lower entry on GBP CAD. We haven't decided yet. It doesn't actually really make sense still. So we're optimizing data always if we ever make any changes, which we have not to entries since the last manager chart. We will plan to very soon, though, in the future. GBP JPY, though, no entries. GBP NZD, we had no entries on the week as well. We did get to a sell 4 here. You can see this run up here got us to a gear 4, but we're still not to our entry. It's after Wednesday, and we are looking at about 7 here. So GBP USD, no entries as well. We got both sides open in the Go server, buy 3, sell 0, but just ultimately we have not gotten a trade there. Keep going on. Euro JPY as well. It's been a very quiet week, I'd say, for myself here on swing settings. I haven't seen much action. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that much action. I know we've been getting a lot of action the last 2 months. I know I've seen some of the profits many of you have made, but it seems that maybe we are going back into a nice little quick consolidation before we have some breakouts again and get some market executions, because we're not getting any entries on these pairs, which means that things aren't necessarily trending the way they might need to trend for us to rock. Euro USD, no trades either. Euro CAD, we did do 1% on the week. All right, so we have 1% gain on the week with Euro CAD. Euro Swiss franc, no trades on the week here. CAD JPY, no trades on the week. CHF JPY, we are in some drawdown, waiting on these trades to play out. About 1% negative floating profit. CAD CHF, we had no trades on the week. AUD USD as well, we had no real market trades on swing on the week. USD CHF, we have had trades, and we are currently in floating negative 1.2% on these trades on a $500 account, which keep in mind, if this was a $1,000 account with a 0.01, you'd be in 0.6% drawdown in this trade setup, and this does look like a nice trade setup. So showing some of GearBox's power and entries here. Let's keep going through. AUD JPY, we did not get an entry on the week. You can see where our movements are looking here, and by 3, this needs to fall, and we should be taking some executions. AUD NZD has been sending us on a run, and you can ignore these numbers here. This is a tool that you can do some cool stuff with. I don't know where the TP bar went, but I can tell you where my break even is. So right here, this is break even. This is profit. AUD CHF, no trades on the week. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to Cloud Trader 9 here, and Euro NZD. I have not gotten a trade in a bit here. Things have been pretty quiet for me on Euro NZD. I'm hoping to get some more action here soon. AUD CAD, we did do 1%, 1.11% on the week. I like that number. We got the 111s. And that's how the different currency pairs performed for us this week. All the majors, all the minors. If you have any questions in regards to those, otherwise what we'll do is we'll just pull up the MyFX book data and you can get into it. Let's go to one pair data. Absolute gain. Yeah, I'll sort by absolute. So, you can continue to see how these pairs have performed over time. And the main thing I want to address again on this call is, why do you, when you set up GearBox, open all of these currency pairs on the same account? And here's the reason for that. Let's take a look at GBP AUD. This is our top performing pair right now, but I want to show you something. If you had set up GBP AUD 3 months ago and were told it was a best performing pair, you would have been very bored, and I'm going to tell you why. So we set this up in October, and GBP AUD was crushing it. March 29th was our last profitable trade before this big swing up. It took till August 19th to take another trade again, and it closed and lost 10% of the profit and went into a 20% almost drawdown here. But then it went from 54% to 97 to 102%, just like that. Now, if you were in that 3 or so plus month period in between all of this, just running GBP AUD by itself, you wouldn't have even taken a trade for months. So this is why you need to open many of these charts, right? You can see this account's only taken 72 trades since October of last year on just GBP AUD itself. Now, another example, we can look at both USD CAD and AUD USD, because these also can show you a lot in their power. Hitting it out of the park. April 21st, right? Stopped taking trades in April. Got into some drawdown. Lost 8% in May. It made it all back a month later when those trades swung. See right here, look, boom. So you were just in drawdown, but imagine you were in drawdown for 2 months. April 21st, you get into this trade. You get into drawdown. You take a loss, 8%. You're now in some drawdown. All of a sudden, it swings back. You make back all that loss. And then look at this. Account just starts jumping. But there was even a period where you would have been just in drawdown for 2 months, right? Even though this thing's taking trades every single month for the most part, there was a period where this one experienced a drawdown period. Or we take a look at something like AUD-USD here. Been running since October. Doing its thing. We'll look for a gap here. Go March. Look at this. March 26th all the way to August 27th. You're talking months. No trades, no growth. So you can see the power in that and see, why you need to be essentially, scanning all of these pairs. You can't just scan the best performing pairs. You can't just scan this pair or that pair. Scan them all, but know which ones obviously have performed. But when these ones perform, it's because they're waiting for such precise trades that they take a long time to get in that kind of trade setup and make you the kind of money, right? Or like GBP-NZD as well has been a profitable one, but this one hasn't taken another trade since May. Not another trade since May. 33 profit factor, though. 89% of every trade GBP-NZD is taken. But we haven't gotten into anything. All right, so this is why we scan all the currency pairs. I know we often get asked all these questions, and I think it's important to talk about those topics and what's going on. Now, let me come back here. Do you have any easy way to calculate break even on any sequence? There's actually a tool. It should be on your VPS. Let me pull up a debug VPS. Give me a second. Hold on. All right. So on a debug VPS here, let's test it on this crazy sequence we got going on intraday mode. So ignore the mode, the pairs. Yes, Stormer, that is normal. Let's see. I'm gonna test something here. I just went to an APVPS. I believe we might have put break even on them. So I want to check. GearBox debugged. Let's go to the scripts. Nope, indicators. GearBox levels. I don't think it was that one. I think it's built into the predicted take profit and stop loss. All right. Yes, it is. So how this tool works, and you have it on your VPS, I don't talk about it much, but it's actually probably a really useful tool. It's right here under your indicators, and it's predicted take profit and stop loss. And what you can do is it automatically sets the break-even line, so that is valid. But if you wanted to even potentially move a take profit, you could, let's say in this case, I want to put my TP here, or you want to calculate your TP too. So moving this line will calculate your actual take profit. So right here, my take profit based on that line should be about $303, right? So pretty good, but you can obviously modify and do something here. So, oops, when you drag the green line on your take profit, it's sometimes hard to get it back because now it just wants to modify the TP. But you can see where your break-even line is too, which my break-even line's not that far below it. But you could even move your TP up. Like, let's say I said, I want to put my TP back up here. And let's say I got to get my stop losses. Let's say I want to put all my stop losses right here. This is a more advanced tool, but I believe I put the script on here. Did I not? Oh, I didn't upload the script, I guess. There's a script as well I can upload that it will automatically move these for you to those respective lines. I think I didn't add it because I didn't want somebody to accidentally do it and do something silly. So I think that's why it's not there right now. But your break-even line is always valid. You don't have to move these around to get your break-even line. Just do the predicted TP and stop loss under your indicators here. Drag it onto one of your charts, and you'll be able to see your break-even line right there. So I hope that answers your question. But yes, you do have access to that. Great question. I checked with my broker and that they have lowered their leverage on CHF pairs to 100 to 1. Is it safe to run them again with that leverage? Absolutely. You can run them again with that leverage. I would just maybe go more conservative on the lot size. As really 1 in 200 is the minimal leverage. I would use the conservative settings on with GearBox. So with 1 in 100, just go more conservative on those pairs with the lot size. Stormer said, can you explain why it'd be different? Awesome. Well, let's get right back into it with our GearBox level simulation here. So if you are coming in and you are using GearBox and you want to know what your risk is, and depending on your settings, so in this case, I'm going to go with the proper lot size we'd be using. And this is all based on one currency pair, but the different levels are different entries. So GearBox trades in the Ghost server. So if you're new, essentially what's going on and why GearBox isn't taking trades on your physical account is because it's actually taking them behind the scenes in what we call a notepad. So GearBox actually will trade behind the scenes, and I can actually give you a visual of this. You will not be able to see this on your end because you don't have access to these files, but I will go ahead and give you a visual so that you can actually understand what GearBox is doing. Alrighty. Perfect. GBP JPY, we'll take this one. Notepad. Open. So you can see that GBP JPY is actually in 2 trades. Not on my account, but behind the scenes in a notepad. So it's actually trading. But then what we're doing is we're essentially making it scan and wait for a very precise entry, because we know the mathematics behind many of these currency pairs and how many pips they tend to move. Here's GBP AUD. There's no trades open on my account, but there are 5 trades open on GBP AUD in what's known as a ghost server. Because I know that when GBP AUD moves, it can sometimes move 500 to 1,000 pips, right? And that may not be its average daily range, right? But when it trends, sometimes those trends, they go 500 to 1,000 pips in one direction. So you want to be able to catch the end of a trend and catch a reversal. And that's really what precision modes in GearBox do, is it trades, it basically has a counter trend strategy that trades against the trend behind the scenes And then once it gets to what we would consider a good reversal point, GearBox will then take that trade in the market, but you got to skip all the potential drawdown the base algorithm would have incurred by us making it run the trades in a notepad instead. And that's what makes GearBox so magical. I'm going to come back to the chat here. Oh, you're saying why are the ghost gears different on my accounts than what they are on yours? Absolutely. It's all based on broker. It's based on when your account's turned on. It's based on when some of your other ghost trades maybe got out of a trade and hit TP, whereas maybe mine missed TP and ended up in another level. Everyone's trades differently depending on your broker, your spread. There's a lot of factors for why you could even set up two identical accounts on the same broker, but if they launch 1 minute apart, they may get into different trades in the real market. They may get out sooner than the other. No one will have the same stop loss. No one will ever have the same take profit. Everyone's GearBox runs independently, and it's all based really on mathematics. Which is where, when we get into mathematics, our simulation here is one of the best things to look at. So if we take a look at it, say you had $10,000 euro account here, and you had $1,000 or €1,000 account. So we can take a look. Let's say you were entering on the GBP pairs, entering after gear 6. So you're waiting 303 pips into the move to take your first trade. That means that the market could essentially go against you on 3 different currency pairs over 1,000 pips. You could have 3 pairs go against you 1,000 pips, and that would put you in a very high drawdown because you'd be in 28% here. Now, if that happened to you on a $1,000 account with 3 pairs, you would have blown a long time ago. You can really make it about 900 pips on a $1,000 account, 3 pairs running against you if you were entering on a gear 6 here, right? Now, let's say you were running one of the lower pairs where maybe you enter on a gear 3 and or you enter on 3. So say you enter on 3 here. Okay, well, those moves you can still have. We go right here to about 46 and 20 area. Yeah, this is the sweet spot here. You could still have 3 normal currency pairs that have low swing entries, such as a Euro NZD, some of those other pairs. You could still have them go over 600 pips against you all at the same time. Remember, this has to be at the same time, and that would put you in about a 60% drawdown in this scenario. And on the $1,000 account, 3 pairs you'd blow at that point, so you could only really do in between there, I'd say about 700 difference between these two on a $1,000 account, but still 3 pairs going 700 pips against you from their initial entries in the Ghost server. It just doesn't make any sense. Things happen, black swan events happen, but the other thing you have to keep in mind that this calculator does not think about is balance protection. Which, remember, if you even reach 25% drawdown, we're not even going to take another trade, which means actually could you withstand way more risk than this? Yes. You want to know why? Because you're not even taking this trade, this trade, this trade. Right? These aren't really, if you had 3 pairs go against you, you would only make it here on your trades. Because this would be multiplied to 30%. So you'd have 3 pairs open, say with a 0.15 lot. You're not deploying 0.17, 0.20. You're not deploying these next cost averages. You're going into what we call chill out mode in balance protection, where it does not take another trade. It only continues to manage and modify open and existing trades, but just wait. Call it the waiting game. And yes, can you be stuck in drawdown for 2 months sometimes if something crazy happens? It's possible, but with the balance protection mode, you don't incur more risk, and you just chill, and it eventually swings back to where it needs to get you out of that trade. And we've seen it time and time again, and, that's why we have amazing risk management features for black swan events and scenarios like that. Let me come back here. Could you please explain why you would manually exit from a series of trades? I noticed some of the TPs are quite a long way from the current price. The only time I manually exit trades is if I've been stuck in them for more than 2 weeks and I'm in floating profit of more than 1% on the trade sequence. It's the only time I ever close trades manually. All right. Could you explain? Do you guys have any more questions in here? I'm not seeing too much more in the question side of things here. I will continue on into going into the week ahead. What else is going on with Forex Factory? And let's take a look at the news here. So what we see is Monday, Canada has a federal election. That seems like a big red folder news event. So if you're using Canadian pairs, which we all are, I would not probably run them in intraday this week. Precision, absolutely. But maybe on Sniper. AUD, monetary policy meeting minutes, nothing crazy. Hopefully we get some entries. USD, we have FOMC economic projections and FOMC statement, as well as the press conference. Hopefully we get some great USD entries because we had a very slow week leading up to a week full of red folder news events right now. CHF, we have monetary policy assessments. So again, if you're one of those brokers that has lower leverage, 1 in 50, I wouldn't run CHF right now. Euro, German flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. And then GBP, we have asset purchase facility votes, and monetary policy summary. So we have a week full of red folder news here. And in precision mode and with GearBox, I love red folder news. We don't have one of those EAs that needs a news filter so that it doesn't get you in a bunch of crazy drawdown. We have one of those EAs that takes its entries in news. So you got to remember that, and you got to love that. So I hope that we all have a phenomenal trading week ahead with all of the red folder news surrounding. Again, if you're in intraday mode, definitely be more hands-on. If you're in precision mode, which is what this call is about today, I'm excited. I love red folder news events with precision modes. All right, let's see what we have going on. I see nothing else happening here in the chat box. Oh, there we go. What is the advantage of Ghost plus Real exit or double TP exit, and which one's more profitable in the long run? Ghost plus Real is going to be the longest TP in pretty much all scenarios. Double TP is first entry 60 pip take profit on the trade. Real trades only is 30 pips take profit on the first entry. And Ghost plus Real, if we were to go back to our handy dandy calculator, the easiest way to explain Ghost plus Real is, let's say you are entering on a Gear 4 trade here. Even though you entered your first trade here, it's going to calculate your take profit as if it had drawdown from 0, 1, and 2, which your account's not even in. Those are running in a notepad, but it's going to calculate your take profit as if you also needed to balance out these negative trades, which that's why Ghost plus Real tends to be the most profitable, because even though you're not in these trades, it doesn't have to balance them out, so you're just making pure profit when it swings, right? So that's why Ghost plus Real is going to be the most profitable long-term. Double TP is more hands-off, I would say, though. Even though they're all hands-off, I don't touch my my accounts, but to approve the trades, if you're a U.S. user. But with that being said, I'm not seeing any more questions from you guys today. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday, that you enjoy the weekend ahead, and I look forward to another amazing trading week coming up, because like I said, we got a lot of red folder news, and I'm looking for some amazing entries. And since many of us are probably not in many trades on our account right now, that means that there's a lot of opportunity for great quick moves that happen from red folder news and catching some reversals and potentially making some money. I love some of those trades that something quick happens, you secure an entry, and it reverses right away, and you just have a great day. So hopefully we get some of those this week, and I look forward to seeing you there. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon.